Hey guys, it's Tiffany, and I'm here to do an overview for the month of November 2023 for what's going on in the skies with the astrology forecast. And so, there's a lot of mixed energy in November, but don't worry, what goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up, and it's going to be okay. There's some great, beautiful weeks for creativity and flow, and then there's other times where it's like definitely going to be like tensions are high. So I'm going to walk you through those so that you understand where the opportunities are and where the curveballs are. And I also just want to invite you to check out my astrology digital calendar for 2024 because the calendar goes on any device and it can show up on your phone, it can show up on your Google Calendar, it can show up on your Android or your iPhone or whatever you use, your Outlook, all of the things. And so if you like to get the little notification that says what astrology tidbit is happening, then I would love for you to check out the calendar and see if it's a good fit. So, as we shift into November, we're moving into a 9 month in the numerology. And the 9 month really has to do with closure, with completion, with integration, with finding integrity, with digesting, and with assimilating all that we have learned. And we tend to think of that as more like we want to do that in December. We want December to be the end all be all. But really, this year, it's like November is kind of the end of the year feeling. And so feel into that, experiment with it, see what works and doesn't work for you. Here's your intention for the month of November. I enjoy living my highest path of personal integrity and wisdom in my own experiment of a life by divine design. So, as we start out the month of November, we've got on the 3rd, we've got Venus opposing Neptune. And so things aren't quite what they seem, right? You might want a second opinion. You might want to take the rose colored glasses off, or you might just want to be aware that you don't care, that you just want to be happy at all costs, right? But be aware that things are not quite what they seem this week. And so you might a little more time play out to get clarity. This is not the week to make drastic life decisions and change the course of the direction of your life. Saturn will go direct in Pisces. So, as Saturn has been retrograde, it acts like a mini Jupiter in the skies. It acts like a mini expander. And so, as it goes retrograde, it's going to come back in and be more Saturnian, be more rigid, have more boundaries, be more clear, have the rules. Saturn is like the military granddad, where if you're not early, you're late. It's very specific and strategic and procedural, right? And it's in the sign of Pisces, which is very uncomfortable because Pisces is very intuitive and fluid, and you can't contain Pisces. And so some of you are working on spiritual development. Some of you are working on spiritual reformation. Some of you are really trying to put new disciplines into your spiritual walk. And that's a great way to use this energy, which is available through 2025. Okay, also early in November, this first week, it's a little intense. Mercury's going to oppose Uranus. This is when wires get crossed. This is when things don't add up. This is when, oops, an email goes out that wasn't supposed to, or oops, you send a text to somebody that you did not mean to send a text to. Mercury rules our nervous system, and Uranus is very much lightning bolty. So it could be that your nervous system feels a little bit more inflamed. And so doing what you need to do to cool things off, right? There can be interrupted communications, interrupted signals, wires being crossed. You want to take your safety precautions this week. On the 5th, just know that there's a last quarter moon at 12 degrees of Leo. This is harvest time from something that started 2.5 years ago. It's coming due now. Whether you owe something or someone, or whether you need to invoice, the bills are due. It's time to pay something off. And to really recognize what has paid off for you. Okay. November 6th through 12th. This week it's like the vibes are high and then they crash. And so as we start the week on the 6th, Venus will trine Pluto. This is good. This is juicy. This is sensual. It feels good. It feels transformative. Mercury also trines Neptune. This is very striking and gifted and talented in writing the best song you've ever written, and just being able to harmonize and being able to like tap into the flow of the spiritual river of life. It's really understanding, giving new life to relationships, really seeking to understand. It's getting like that good, juicy connection that we all desire. And as this is happening on the 8th, Venus will enter Libra. So Venus, the goddess of love and money and luxury, the one who unifies through the beauty way, the intuitive, the creative one, the goddess of fertility. She's in Libra, the sign of partnerships, from November 8th to December 4th. And so dancing with a partner, finding the dance of life, finding your rhythms, finding the rhythm with yourself, understanding what feels fair, what feels like justice in a good way, what it's like to be on the other side of you. The themes around unconditional love are available all month. So tap into that. Mercury is going to sextile Pluto right before it enters Sagittarius. And so this is really that truth spotting that you can't fake it. Like you really see through things, right? You see through the madness and the fog. Mercury in Sagittarius, there's going to be a shift of a lot of planets into Sagittarius. And so this is about the adventure of life. And, where do you want to go? What's your bucket list item? What movie have you been putting off? What quest have you been putting off? What trip have you been putting off that you could plan and make some ideas around and then wait to respond to see what the universe brings to you? Y'all, I'm going to just confess that I have never seen Star Wars, and I thought that maybe I could watch it this November. So this is you don't have to like go anywhere to go somewhere. You know what I mean? I might not. I'm not going to commit to that out loud, but I'm just giving you an example, an idea. Mercury is going to square Saturn this week, and this will help you narrow down the options. This will help you know what to say no to. This will help you streamline your focus, and it will force you to find solutions. It will show you what's not working. And then Mars is going to oppose Uranus this week too. And this is a really like a new impulse. Uranus is that lightning bolt, that aha moment. It's working in opposition to fireball Mars. This is when things kind of blow up, right? And so it's not a positive transit in traditional astrology. It feels like something is shattering, blowing up, wires are crossed. So I want you to just be careful that week. I used to be this super happy, gushy, positive, awesome, optimistic astrologer. And now I'm like, you know what? We got to talk about the ones that don't feel good so that you have a heads up and you can really use this stuff to your advantage. So, the 9th, 10th, 11th, be extra cautious. Watch out for the pets, the littles, the elderly. Make sure they have good, tender, loving care. Make sure that you're not leaving the house with anything that is plugged in, like make sure that you've taken all the safety precautions. Just be sweet, slow and steady, deep breaths, right? As we look at the 13th through the 19th, we've got, this is one of like those good weeks. This is one of those weeks where I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be juicy. Yeah, the sun opposes Uranus. And yeah, there's going to be some irritability, restlessness, discontent. I think it's going to energize you to make some sudden changes that you're going to surprise yourself. Like all of a sudden you're painting your walls all black or all white or all pink or all whatever color, right? You're doing something different that is really in the name of self-improvement and putting yourself in an environment that stimulates good things for you, flow, insight, information. That's all very sun opposite Uranus, but it creates that like that little tension, it had to get to a point before I made the change type of thing. Then there's a new moon at Scorpio on the 13th. And the new moon, this is the time when we plant seeds, when we set intentions in what? The sign of Scorpio. Sex, the deepest human bonds, power, authority, the mysteries of the universe, right? The deepest connections available, the mysterious side of life, liberation, magic, vitality, renewal, redemption. These are all the stories of Scorpio. So where do you need a new beginning in that department? There's a Sabian symbol that is a soldier derelict in his duty. So you might journal about what this soldier derelict in his duty might have to share with you, what wisdom and insights might be gained from journaling or drawing or doodling around this idea. This moon family story starts a new 2.5-year cycle on November 13th that will culminate in February of 2026. So you're working on something, right? It's just the beginning of something beautiful, good, powerful, interesting, juicy. Now, the rest of the week, it's all good news. We've got Mercury sextile Venus, love letters, ease, flow, good communications, positive vibes. We've got Mars trine Neptune. This is the energy of like focus and drive, and the warrior, and the Neptune, the spiritual one. So the spiritual warrior, this side of you that just gets ignited and inspired to be with spirit, in spirit, right? Sun will trine Neptune. This is a very creative time when you're getting ideas from the muses, when you're getting ideas that are just otherworldly, when you're able to meditate more easily, connect with your guides more easily. It's a good week for a good week. I'm probably going to do a lot of like holiday crafts and stuff like that, tweak some flavors, decorate differently, do some things that feel very feminine, and hearth and home and things like that. On the 18th, Mars will be Cazimi. So Mars will be in the heart of the sun, right with the sun. So conjunct the sun. And what I wrote about this is we all rise together. This is the time to be the tide that lifts all boats. It's a good time to step into right action, correct action for the highest good. So an alternative meaning would be healthy competition with yourself, not others. So some good juju this week. So circle that week. Circle the 13th through the 19th as your best week in November. Now, as we look at the 20th through the 26th, we've got a first quarter moon in Aquarius, where we've got a turning point. Something that started 9 months ago is like shifting for us. The sun is sextile Pluto. This is another like become you. If you guys, any Indigo Girls fans out there, become you. Personal empowerment, changing your identity, changing the way you look, the way you act, the way you walk in this world. Mercury is going to trine Chiron, and in the metaphysical space, we love this. So really juicy, like time to listen to your heart, more healing, more vulnerable, more nerdy. The more niche and interesting you can explore those like dark nooks and crannies of yourself, the closer you can get to knowing yourself, the more, I guess, imagination, stimulation, things like this are going to come to you, and then the flow, the synchronicities are going to start to show up. You get these aha moments about yourself. It's a healing time. All right. And it's positive change. Mars is sextile Pluto. So definitely something that you start now is absolutely going to come to fruition. Pluto transforms. Mars energizes. What you start now, what you put into action now will yield results. Mutation is happening. The sun will enter Sagittarius. So happy birthday to all of our Sagittarius friends out there. We love you. Venus will oppose Chiron. The sun will square Saturn. And then I think, yeah, Mars squares Saturn and Mercury goes into retrograde. So we kind of take a nosedive at this point. So Sagittarius, yeah, happy birthday. You're going to be fine. This isn't meant for you. Everybody else watching, there's some challenging moments in the astrological field the rest of the week. Life is happening for us, not to us, but it's actually happening from us, right? As we think, so shall we be. It's a time to be disciplined, to put in the effort, to stay inspired, to find the adventure of life, to remember that we're here for a good time, not a long time, to understand that endurance and perseverance and really sticking with something is valuable in some cases. So as we look towards the very end of the month in November the 27th, we've got Mercury squaring Neptune, and so that could come in a little early. I don't like this one either. This is when we tend to see overdoses, accidents, toxins, improperly prescribed medications, oops, with the vitamins, all kinds of little things can go wrong, freak accidents. Mercury rules the way that we think, we learn, we communicate, right? Ideas exchange, and Neptune is like dissolving all that. Neptune is like, no, I don't need the mind. I need the meditation. I need to be in the cosmic influences. And so more will be revealed, but during this time, we tend to not be able to see so clearly. So things are a little delusional. Things are a little illusional, right? It's all illusion. It's all the Maya. Okay. And during this time, we've got a full moon in Gemini. And this is the moon when I talk about we've got too many tabs open, too many things going on at once. We're in that 9 month, the energy is high, burnout is likely. And so where can you shut some things down? Where can you close some tabs? Where can you find completion and say, this is enough? I am enough, right? So be aware, right? There's excess energy with a full moon. Blood flow is high. Karmic cycles are high. Tides are high. The energy is a little bit more intense. So be aware of that. Now, the last transit we have, I really actually kind of like. So it's November 29th. Venus will oppose the North Node. So Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and luxury, right? How we flow femininely with creativity and fertility in the world, is opposite the North Node, our calling, meaning it's right next to or conjunct our South Node, which is our past lives. And so you might feel like that experience of deja vu, of I know this person, I've met you before, you're part of my soul family, you're part of my soul tribe, and just take a little bit of a relationship inventory and see, not everybody that's with you is going forward with you, right? As you get older, sometimes the circle gets smaller, right? And so as you get further on your spiritual development path, sometimes the circle gets real small. So just be aware that the people that you're with around the end of November may be somebody that you have like many, many lifetimes with. So look around and see who's showing up and see who feels like that soul family. So nice way to end and wrap up the month. Just remember that your intention matters more than anything else. And so my heart goes out to you. I hope that you all have a beautiful month in November. I hope this is useful to you. And until next time, guys, namaste.